A Panhandle teacher receives national accolades and is in the running for a $10,000 top prize. KNEB.TV News starts right now.
From your trusted source for news in western Nebraska and eastern Wyoming, this is KNEB.TV News. Presented by Platte Valley Companies, premier provider of financial services.
Hello, I'm Ryan Murphy. This is KNEB.TV News powered by Platte Valley Companies. Thanks for joining me. In our top story, a teacher at Crawford Public Schools has been named the 2024 State History Teacher of the Year. Grades 7 through 12 social studies teacher Nathan Kackmeister was selected as Nebraska's top teacher in this award, sponsored by the Gilder Lehrman Institute of American History. Kackmeyer will receive a $1,000 award, and Crawford will become a Gilder Lehrman affiliate school, receiving history books and educational materials. Kackmeister will also be a finalist for the $10,000 National History Teacher of the Year award. More than 100 people were on hand Wednesday night for the 83rd annual Wesco Stockholders Meeting. Chief Financial Officer Josh Foster presented the company's financial reports for the 2024 fiscal year, showing the cooperative had $167 million in sales and generated a net savings of $8.8 million. He says Wesco has a very strong balance sheet with $15 million working capital and $86 million in total equity. In the annual report, Chairman Joe Thompson informed members that 2024 was Wesco's 7th best year in history in total. Wesco is returning $3 million in cash back to members following the meeting and allocating another $2.5 million to members' equity accounts. And violating the terms of her probation has resulted in a firm prison sentence for a Scottsbluff woman. Back in February, 37-year-old Alyssa Sage had been sentenced to a 3-year term of probation following a 2023 burglary conviction. However, following subsequent arrests and violations of the terms of her probation, Sage was back in court this month to be resentenced on the Class 2A felony. Last week, District Judge Andrea Miller sentenced Sage to 4 to 8 years in prison for the burglary conviction, as well as 2 90-day sentences on lesser meth possession convictions. We'll have more news right after this.
Looking for free instead of fees? Platte Valley Bank can help you keep your finances moving forward with no ATM fees. Whether you're headed to the lake, the mountains, or just to the grocery store, you can enjoy the freedom of free ATM access anywhere, anytime. Platte Valley Bank. You belong here.
When it comes to your health, you deserve the very best. At Morrill County Community Hospital, they provide top-notch care with compassion and expertise. From routine checkups to advanced surgeries, their dedicated team is here for you 24/7. With state-of-the-art technology and a patient-first approach, they ensure you and your loved ones receive the highest quality care. Because at Morrill County Community Hospital, your health is their priority. Visit Morrill County Community Hospital today in Bridgeport. Morrill County Community Hospital. Exceptional care right here at home.
Welcome to Kelly's Liquor, your liquor cabinet. Whether you're a wine enthusiast, a whiskey sommelier, a tequila connoisseur, or you just love your beer, Kelly's has the best selection of what you're looking for. Family owned and operated since 1946 and right on 27th Street in Scottsbluff. Come see us today at Kelly's Liquor, your liquor cabinet. And remember to be a good neighbor. Don't drink and drive. Kelly's Liquor, West 27th Street in Scottsbluff.
Welcome back. Governor Jim Pillen has joined 25 other governors supporting President Donald Trump's commitment to deporting dangerous criminals, gang members, and terrorists who are in the country illegally. Their statement commended Trump and pledged support for the administration's efforts to protect public safety and national security. Pillen said he stands ready to utilize every tool at his disposal, whether through state law enforcement or the National Guard, to support President Trump in this vital mission. Well, fresh from being sworn in Monday to complete the remaining 2 years of his term, U.S. Senator Pete Ricketts says he's committed to continuing his work of bringing proven Nebraska solutions to Washington. Among his list of priorities is moving forward on the Farm Bill framework proposed by the Future Ag Committee Chairman John Boseman of Arkansas.
It improves crop insurance and strengthens trade promotion programs. It includes my bills to improve flood protection, make infrastructure more resilient, and assist rural micro entrepreneurs. It also includes my bill to give a next step to workers on SNAP. We need to pass it as quickly as possible. Our farmers and ranchers deserve that.
Ricketts was appointed by Governor Jim Pillen to serve in the Senate following the departure of Senator Ben Sasse in 2023. He will now serve the final 2 years of that term. He will have to run for re-election in 2026 for a full 6-year term. Ricketts says he's proud of his team's work to help Nebraskans navigate the federal bureaucracy, pointing out that his constituent services team held nearly 700 outreach events in Nebraska this year, which included office hours in all 93 counties at least twice.
Fly United Airlines, operated by SkyWest with Western Nebraska Regional Airport. United is dedicated to going the extra mile for you with daily flights to and from Denver, along with a commitment to excellent service. Reserve your flight today, and remember, United miles can be earned and redeemed with your flights. While at the airport, stop and enjoy authentic Italian food at Roma Italian Restaurant. Plus, Hertz Thrifty Car Rental is there for your car rental needs. Make life easier, relax, and get on board with Western Nebraska Regional Airport.
I imagined retirement in a place where we could enjoy our golden years, where adventure and friendship are the only items on the schedule. The Garden Homes at Northfield gives us the luxury we planned for and peace of mind when it comes to convenience, safety, and comfort. We never have to stop and think about the day-to-day upkeep. We love to explore abroad, but most importantly in our backyard. So much to do, so much to see. Here at Northfield, we get the protection of life care, incredible tax benefits, and secured rates for aging services. It's peaceful, knowing that if our needs change, we'll be taken care of. And most importantly, that our kids will never have to make any tough decisions. There never seemed to be enough time to do all the things we wanted. Now we get to focus our energy on enjoying what this community has to offer. At the Garden Homes, life is ours again. A place we had dreamed about. A chance to focus on us.
This is KNEB.TV Ag News from the Scottsbluff Body and Paint Ag Desk. Scottsbluff Body and Paint, you're driving home our reputation.
Welcome to another edition of Cattle Call. I'm Susan Littlefield on the Rural Radio Network, and we are on the road once again this week, this time at the Nebraska Farm Expo, which is taking place in Lincoln. And thanks to the great folks at Growth Technologies for allowing me to hang out in their booth all day and do markets and to do the program like this with Cattle Call. Well, I'll tell you, week 3, this is a three-peat. When it comes to talk about this cash and how amazing it has been for our cattle producers, as Brad Koima joins us with KKV Trading, and looking at the fact that last 2 weeks I said, cash is king, then it was cash is king 2.0, and now cash is the boss, as you put it. Another amazing week that we see. What's your takeaway for what we're seeing in this cash market again for December?
Well, thanks for having me on, first of all. And, with that preamble, I was thinking to myself, I'm tempted to start out with, even a blind pig finds an ear of corn now and then, or whatever that version of that story that people tell.
Right.
Being right once in a while, like a broken clock. The market, we've talked about this, how the market seems to be a little different than the old days. Where the futures would be much more anticipatory, would lead, like the name implies. And then since, I think these multiple black swan events maybe contributes to it. Maybe it's just the players involved, but it seems like now for the long speculator to step in here, like he just about needs to be like those folks from Missouri, okay, prove it to me, show me. And that's what we've done here with this cash market for a couple of weeks in a row. And we're doing it again today while we speak. I may have just passed 194 up here. I think 195 is going to happen in the north. There's been a little bit of 193 trade already, which is, last week it was 192. It waited till the last minute on Friday. And a lot of those cattle at 192, Susan, I tell you, are already dead. And a lot of those had a rural address. I'm talking about cattle bought in Iowa that died in either Colorado or died in Texas. Again, which to me is proving that you got a packer that's looking for grade and looking for overall supply. So yeah, it's super fun. nice to see the way the market handled it and reacted.
You know, after the struggles that we have seen with these cattle producers for so long, it's nice as we wrap up 2024 to see a couple consecutive weeks of positivity. So then the question is, can this continue? Can the demand for the prices that we see and the waiting till for some the 11th hour, is that going to be a possibility into next week?
Demand seems to be a popular concern and question. It is one of mine too. If you find someone that can predict demand for you, please let me know. I'd like to visit with him or her. Supply is one thing, right? We work hard at getting that, and I think we can do as good a job as anybody of getting our arms around what the supply is. I can only look at what I can see on demand. And from what I can see, I see no change. We've got a Thanksgiving weekend where it was record travel, right? That doesn't sound like a recession. Black Friday, all-time record retail sales. Doesn't sound like a recession to me. I'm looking at the stock market chart over here. We're right up on the all-time highs. Okay, if somebody wants to predict that all of a sudden somehow today that $12.99 ribeye is too high, more power to you. I do not see it. It looks to me like the middle's very strength here going into which normally they do this time of year, and they're doing like they're supposed to. The grind has been incredibly strong. That's the one cut that is priced above a year ago, and it keeps moving. That tells me that demand is good there. So I'm not going to sit here and say if we have some kind of a meltdown with the recession, of course, things are going to be different. But at this point, how much higher? I don't know, you've pried these wild estimates out of me before, I've been dumb enough to tell you over 200. In fact, I think if it falls right, we can go way past that in the first quarter of the year. Depends upon weather and different things like that. But I think it's our turn. I can give you a whole list of markets that have had this big blow off top. And I think it's the cattle market's turn.
And it's about dang time. You talked about the S&D report, and we always look at the big WASDE report that comes out, and we always talk about things from a grain perspective. But I think folks forget livestock is a part of that report as well. And you were kind of digesting and looking at those numbers and what the USDA is saying going into 2025.
Well, I only brought it up because it is a little out of the norm. In the 44, almost 45 years now that I've done this thing, I can't say that I've ever spent a lot of time on the supply demand report as it speaks to like poultry or pork or beef, because I was told that, hey, nobody cares. And so I didn't either. But now in this environment where you've got algorithms that are trained to read headlines and react to those headlines, I'm not sure that yesterday wasn't a little bit influenced by that. And what I'm talking about is a USDA projection that second and third quarter of next year, we're going to have beef production down 1.5% from what they had expected. Then there's a narrative, and some of that, if you dig through it, it looks like part of that reasoning, unfortunately, which I don't think is a great reason, is because of the border closing with Mexico. Now, I'm very confident that that's temporary. That's a matter of days, not months. And so, as we get past the new year, when that reopens, we'll see if the market doesn't have to absorb that just a little bit as well. But so I think that maybe speaks to a little bit of what the market was doing yesterday. But today, to me, it was all about cash and led by the front months. And it's really fun to see the market rock and roll like that.
So we have a very avid viewer that watches and then listens to this on the podcast as well. And her question is, we're starting to see even higher bred cow prices. We're seeing higher heifer replacement prices out there. At what point do we say as beef producers, okay, this is getting too high. I can't pencil this out to bring these heifers back to my operation or bring these bred cows back to my operation?
Fantastic.
They're what your 2 cents worth, or
yeah, I'll give you
worth.
Yeah, right. I'll give you my 2 cents worth, right? And that, and what, about $5 now? Get you a cup of coffee. She's asking a great question, and it's a question that I've asked a number of people that are in cow-calf country that'll stand still long enough to give me a decent answer. And I think for a lot of people, you're already there, but it comes from both sides. When I talk to the cow-calf guy, I'll say to him, "Are you going to hold heifers? What do you think? Are you what I mean?" And there's a few that are, okay. There's a few that are, but the big answer that I usually get is they say, "I can't afford to. I'm getting such a big price to go to a feedlot for these heifers that I can't afford to. My banker says I should, or I'm 72 years old. This is my way out. I'm going to quit. When is it too high? I think you could say that about every segment of the beef thing. Is a 655 pound calf too high at 338, where they sold it yesterday at a sale barn I was watching? 338 for 655 pounders. For me, it's too high. Now for the next guy, maybe he could feed him for half price that I can. But unfortunately, we're our own worst enemy sometimes, us cattlemen are. Where we cannot stand and not have possession. We got an empty pen, we can't stand. We got a pasture that we're not using, whatever it is. Be judicious here. I do think that we've got a pretty good stretch here where we have not started this expansion phase. We've sucked this cow herd down to a bare bones level that if we don't start to expand, you are going to turn this into a specialty market. But I doubt that we're going to go there. We'll start to slowly expand, but use your head. There's no place for the faint of heart. I don't think we're there yet to answer that person's question. I think these people are willing to still, as long as the futures keep going, they're willing to take a try. A few of the courageous ones are, at least.
It's going to be a fun, crazy ride. That's for sure.
Up on the stairs and down on the elevator too. Unfortunately,
I know.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's always in the back of my mind as we talk about these prices. Well, Brad, what's the best way for folks to get a hold of you guys?
Well, kkbtrading.com. Easy to find us. You can learn all about what we're doing there. Otherwise, phone number is 712-722-0023. Good to see you, Susan.
Always good to see you. Brad Koima joining us this week, of course, with Koima & Barlick, located out of Sioux Center, Iowa. Quick reminder that commodity futures and options do involve a substantial risk of loss, not suitable to all investors. And that's another edition of the Cattle Call right here on the Rural Radio Network.
Renewal by Andersen has done it again. Their incredible Black Friday event is back, and it's better than ever. But don't wait. Call and book today. Do not miss this one. You get 20% off every window, plus a Visa gift card for up to $2,000 right before Christmas. No money down, no interest, no payments for 18 months. Don't pay a dime until 2026. Call today. Act fast. This incredible offer only runs from November 15th through December 14th. Do not wait. Book your free estimate right now at rbawyoming.com.
You deserve to have a building that will last for generations. With more than 110 years of experience and thousands of satisfied customers, Morton Buildings is the industry leader you can trust. If you're planning for a garage, farm shop, horse barn, storage building for your RV, boat, or collectibles, there's no better time to buy. Contact your local Morton sales office or visit mortonbuildings.com to get started today.
Let's take a peek at your weekend community calendar brought to you by Riverstone Bank. community calendar is brought to you by Riverstone Bank. We're local and we love our community.
Changing leaf colors means yard work. Your friends at Tri-City Stormwater wants to remind you of the proper way to dispose of fallen leaves. Leaves make great mulch for trees and bushes and compost for future gardens. The city also has yard waste bins, so they can dispose of all your leaves at the city compost facility. Always keep your leaves out of the gutters. Not only do they cause clogging and flooding, they can pollute our waterways by causing nutrient overload. So keep your yard looking good and your drinking water safe, because it's our water, our responsibility.
Tired of feeling stuck? Not sure if you are on the right track? Platte Valley Bank can help keep your finances moving forward with checking account options to fit your lifestyle and an online account chooser to make finding the right account easy. Control your financial future with helpful budgeting tools and automatic savings plans. Now is the time to enjoy the ride with Platte Valley Bank. You belong here.
And finally tonight, one of Riverstone Bank's Gift of Love components, rounding out the holidays for kids and others in need, takes place tomorrow. The Cross Country Freight Solutions Truck of Love will be at the Scottsbluff Riverstone Bank branch parking lot from 9 to noon tomorrow. Marketing Director Becca Pierce says the new and gently used toys collected will help the Knights of Columbus round things out for kids who had tags on the tree of names.
Doesn't that one item or that two items or that one coat or whatever means just as much to that one child as a whole sack full, but we want to make sure everybody's bright and happy on Christmas. So they are able to use those things that come off of the truck to really make sure that everybody has a really bright Christmas. Or if the tree tag says a Barbie and they weren't gifted a Barbie, we make sure they try and make sure that they can go to their Santa's workshop of toys that come in off of the truck and be able to just really make those Christmas bright for all those kids. Mm-hmm.
Also accepted will be new and gently used coats by Truck Wagon Church, with new kids' coats going towards the Coats for Kids portion of the program. Valley Christian Neighbors in Need will use the non-perishable food items donated during the event to help address food insecurity in the area. Well, that does it for us this time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great weekend. We'll see you back here on Monday.